Now, this is Black Light, Cyberspace Ministry, the Aboriginal Universal Supreme Council's Council of the Elders. My teacher is the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And my uncle and Malcolm X were very tight. I'm in Detroit. And in my past videos, I gave a little history about my uncle and Malcolm. And my uncle, Malcolm called him the night before he was assassinated. And I think he snuck into Detroit because Malcolm got family here, still here in Detroit. But it was such a long time ago, and I was sort of young, and my head wasn't in the Nation of Islam at that time. It was in the streets. I was trying to hustle and flow, And so, but my uncle, see, I had a rooming house. I inherited a rooming house, And my uncle, I was the oldest, so my uncle, of my cousins, I was the oldest that was living in Detroit. And he wanted me to look out for his sons, which were considerably younger than I was. And they was getting into the gang banging and hustling and flowing also. And I was sort of getting out of it, but I hadn't all the way shooken it. And he got together with me one day, and he was telling me about, he knew that Malcolm told him what the deal was. And I guess Malcolm told him he wasn't going to make it, because there wasn't nowhere that Malcolm could hide or go. So he told him that the government hired some guys out of jail that had heavy sentences on them, and they were, if they carry out the assassination, they'll get their sentence wavered or lightened up. And so this is what my uncle told me, and I believed him. Like I say, they were very tight. He's dead now, so all this is old now, so I ain't worried about it, and he's not worried about it. But he had to, my uncle had to leave after Malcolm X was assassinated, my uncle had to leave his family and check into an apartment building or a motel. And they followed him, the government followed him into this apartment building. It was on Dexter and Davidson, where he was at. Wasn't too far from where I was living at the time, on Wildermere, with my mother and father. And they shot up. They was on the floor, up under the bottom of him, and he was pacing up and down the floor, because when he get hyper or nervous, he paced back and forth, and they shot up through the ceiling and missed him. And the next day he came and tried to tell my mother. My mother and him, they wasn't getting along too good, and she didn't believe nothing he said, or if she believed it, she make like she didn't believe it. So the government, is in the mix right now with all these different groups, all these different black groups that we got, churches, everything. They in it. They in the mix with using black faces. Now, ain't too many of y'all young ones gonna believe an old man anyway, see. Cause they know that y'all young cats think y'all know everything anyway. Y'all don't too much listen to your elders. You know, y'all think y'all elders, you know, because we couldn't get up out from under the Caucasian. Y'all think that y'all elders, you know, is stupid. You know, it ain't that. It's that we could never actually unite. And then when we did unite, we end up making a tea party out of it, or a country club type thing, and we was running around in cliques and whatever. Too busy chasing after them skirts. Too busy chasing after them women. You know. And that dollar, which y'all doing now. All the heavy cats is ego tripping. So a lot of the government ain't got to pay off a lot of y'all, because y'all just straight up ego tripping. So, you know, you got some heavy cats that been raised by different warrior type brothers here in Detroit. And we watching Detroit in the neighborhoods fall apart, but the city, the downtown area is booming. Because the gangsters that came back, you know, got rid of Kwame Kilpatrick. He was a stumbling block. You can believe that. And they made sure they got him out the way for a long time. Rather than killing, they locked him up for a long time. He might die in prison. You know. And that's why you still got brothers fighting for him. So, to make a long story longer, they're going to pick all of us off one by one. We got to find a way. We got to find a way to develop a united black front. A lot of brothers say, well, you can't do it on YouTube. You know. Man, you can do it on YouTube. They did it on their television stations. You know. They found a way to promote themselves and their agenda on national TV. Matter of fact, they use mind control on you with national TV, movies, and other things. But all we got to do is just tell the truth. And we ain't got to be in the same room together. We could just be on the same frequency. And you can be where you at, and I could be where I'm at. And we just started vibing on that frequency. Just like voodoo, man. That's how we used to do with voodoo. We used to walk on fire, man. Get into a trance. Drums be beating. Get into a trance. Walk on fire. Witch doctors did all types of things, man. Using frequency and vibrations. But we just got to get on the same page. You know? There's always going to be those who work for the man and hate his own people. They're going to try to throw the frequency off, you know. But I don't care who they is. Once you get 3 or more black people vibing together, and I'm going to find a way every day to come on YouTube and put us all on the same frequency. This is Black Light Out.